technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
Good afternoon. I'm Zach Byard, and here's the latest news headlines at 3:30. In local news, BC Provincial Health Officer Bonnie Henry spoke today about the arrival of 4 Canadians from MV Hondius cruise ship. The 4 Canadians, all 50 or older, were present on the ship during the hantavirus outbreak. 2 of them live in BC, while the other pair are from the Yukon. Henry says none of the Canadians had known direct contact with those infected with hantavirus. She says they are now isolating on Vancouver Island with no symptoms.
I want to provide assurance as well that at no point during their arrival or transfer did any of them come in contact with the public, and the healthcare workers that were involved were all wearing appropriate PPE at all times. We now have daily monitoring in place, and they will remain fully isolated for the duration of their monitoring period.
The 4 will remain in isolation for at least 21 days. A shocking crash on Scott Road this weekend, which left a motorcycle suspended from a traffic light, is raising concerns about road safety. Our reporter Jana Ali has more on what police are noticing about these incidents.
According to ICBC, motorcyclists are 3 times more likely to be injured or killed in a crash compared to those in a car. Delta Police Staff Sergeant Mike Whiteley says some of the biggest factors behind serious incidents like these include speed and inexperience.
Especially this time of year, what we're looking at is inexperience from those motorcycle riders. We have a lot of riders that are just now getting their driver's license with the nicer weather.
Police are also reminding drivers and pedestrians to stay alert, avoid distractions, and pay attention to their surroundings as roads become busier heading into summer. Jana Ali, BCIT News.
The bike driver survived with non-life-threatening injuries. The driver of the sedan that the biker crashed into was not injured. New AI data centers are currently being planned in BC, according to the federal government. Canada's AI Minister Evan Solomon, along with TELUS, held a conference in Vancouver today. They announced plans involving 3 AI infrastructure clusters in BC. There will also be 2 new facilities in Mount Pleasant and downtown Vancouver, plus the expansion of an existing facility in Kamloops, according to TELUS. The Kamloops facility will run off hydroelectric power. TELUS announced last year its intention to build up to 6 AI data centers in BC. The Kamloops and Mount Pleasant projects will open later this year. The downtown facility will open much later in 2029. Movement YVR, a transit advocate group, is asking for a low-income transit pass to help people financially. Our reporter June Bravo shares how they will model this program.
Movement YVR states that it is, quote, embarrassing that British Columbia still does not have passes that can help low-income riders financially. Armin Shandy, a member of Movement, shares that other Canadian cities have these accommodating passes, and Vancouver can model these transit passes after them.
So there's a lot of other programs across Canada that, like not programs, but other cities across Canada that have a low-income discounted program, and they've been a huge success. And
the advocate group expresses that no one should be denied transit because they can't afford it. June Bravo, BCIT News.
Also in transit news, a conference about major transit expansion in Metro Vancouver will take place tomorrow at Surrey Central. Surrey Mayor Brenda Locke will be in attendance, along with Port Coquitlam Mayor Brad West and additional mayors. The event comes days after Mike Farnworth spoke to reporters at the future Willowbrook SkyTrain station. On that day, it was announced that construction had begun on all 8 stations for the Surrey Langley Expo Line extension. Tomorrow's event will be held at 10 a.m. at Surrey Central's bus loop. A Burnaby intersection has seen dozens of crashes over the past few years. Our reporter Matthew Wong has the story.
A busy intersection outside Metrotown SkyTrain station in Burnaby is finally getting a long overdue safety fix. The city of Burnaby has begun construction on the area's first ever pedestrian scramble, crossing at Central Boulevard, stopping all vehicle traffic so pedestrians can cross in every direction, including diagonally. The project comes after 24 crashes at the intersection between 2019 and 2023, and a man being struck by a bus in January of 2024. Senior Manager of Transportation Eric Tam says the benefits go beyond just safety.
What we're essentially doing is separating pedestrian and vehicle movements by time. And so that just kind of allows everybody to move more effectively without with far fewer conflicts. Yeah, so our current construction timelines have it completing in early June. And so we're currently on track to meet that.
Reporting for BCIT News, I'm Matthew Wong.
The crossing is expected to open next month in June. As prom season rises, many teens and parents are scrambling around trying to fund the elaborate and expensive dresses for the big night. Reporter Victoria Naidu has more.
As high schoolers prepare to graduate, costs build up. Prom season remains a struggle for many teens, trying to look their best on their big night. Aside from prom tickets that can range from $50 to $150, the big show all comes from the gowns. Some boutiques are now open to gown rentals to help ease the financial burden grad season can bring for some parents. In Vancouver, there is an increase in rental-friendly boutiques offering a range of styles, merging style with sustainability, making it an eco-friendly opt to look fabulous no matter the occasion. Victoria Naidu, BCIT News.
The classes of 2026 are having their prom in June. In provincial news, the world's largest sporting event is 1 month away from its first matches in Vancouver. BC Tourism Minister Anne Kang spoke today ahead of the FIFA World Cup to update the public on some events happening around the city. Kang says the government is supporting 32 celebrations across British Columbia to bring people together. In addition, the FIFA Canada Celebrates Tour will be making 6 stops in BC. Kang says it will bring live match viewings, music, culture, food, and soccer directly into our communities. The first World Cup game in Vancouver is scheduled for June 13th. BC Forest Minister Ravi Parmar is looking to decouple BC's forest market from the U.S. Parmar announced a $12 million package from the province to help the forest sector. He explains how tariffs on the U.S. government have affected both Canadian and U.S. citizens.
This is not just hurting forestry workers, hurting operations here in British Columbia and throughout Canada, but this is also hurting middle-class Americans who simply want to build homes and build infrastructure. And we've seen a significant collapse of U.S. housing market demand because of the actions of Donald Trump. And I hope he pays the price of that in the upcoming midterm.
Parmar spoke today from Burnaby. In national news, a plan to construct a radar site on farmland in Ontario is being opposed by certain residents. Clearview Township is roughly 30 kilometers east of Barrie. It is also the site of a planned Arctic over-the-radar installations. Ottawa bought land in the area for a receiver site, the transmitter site being in Kawartha Lakes. The purchase upset some local residents, such as Doug Measures.
Why the federal government has targeted this area when there are many, many locations across Ontario, that they could move this to. There are many locations across Canada they could move this to if they chose to continue to investigate and invest in these type of over-the-horizon radar systems. The people are pretty upset about this. This is very, very upsetting.
The federal government says requirements for the radar sites are inflexible despite searching. Now in entertainment, 2 South Florida police officers are upset with the portrayal of real-life details in the action movie The Rip. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon co-lead the story of 2 police officers who discover millions of dollars inside a house. The movie was based off a real 2016 case in which police discovered millions of dollars linked to a suspected marijuana trafficker. The sergeants filed the lawsuit earlier this month. Attorneys for the plaintiffs say that the film does not purport to tell the true story of that incident or portray real people. One of the biggest pop stars is targeting Samsung in a new lawsuit. ABC's Mike Dobuski breaks it down.
Dua Lipa says Samsung is selling TVs using her image without her permission. The photo in question was taken at a music festival in 2024 and is displayed on the boxes for certain Samsung televisions. Lawyers for the 3-time Grammy winner say they repeatedly asked Samsung to stop using the image, but the company was dismissive and callous. Now they're suing Samsung for infringing on Dua Lipa's copyright and trademark rights and are asking for $15 million. Mike Dobuski, ABC News.
Samsung currently has no comment on the lawsuit. And in weather, blue skies in Burnaby right now. It's currently 18 degrees. Today's high is 18 and low is 11. That was your news for the afternoon. It's 3:33. Nope, it's 3:35. I'm Zach Bard, and you're listening to BCIT's The Crow.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow. BCIT's 16.
Everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikki-King.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Theresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretnero.
And I'm Radhika Sikki-King. Thank you for tuning in to BCIT Magazine.
Good morning, BCIT The Crow, the listeners. My name is Dena Tingala, and the time is now 3:45. And for the next 5 minutes, I'll be updating you on all things sports. The awaited Minnesota Frost and Montreal Victoire do-or-die Game 5 has been postponed due to a later date due to player safety concerns related to illness. The Victoire posted on X that the decision was made following consultation with medical personnel and in accordance with the league's commitment to the health and safety of their players, fans, and staff. Medical assessment has determined that the symptoms are not consistent with hantavirus. No other updates has been shared. The Wild are back on home ice for Game 4 against the Colorado Avalanche. Colorado leads the series 2-1. Jarrett Bednar, head coach of the Colorado Avalanche, took time with the media today to talk about how good goalies Mackenzie Blackwood and Scott Wedgwood has been for the team.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like they both want to help our team win. They're both capable of helping our team win. I think it's, when you see a guy going good, you want to keep playing him. And if the game starts to drop off a bit, then you go to the next guy. He's perfectly ready and capable of stepping in and helping our team win. So regardless of which guy it is, they've seemed to come in better and stronger after a break. And when other guy, they're competitive, so they want to earn the net and get the net. I think all those little factors kind of add up. It's a good, and they're in tremendous support of one another too. Like, they're good teammates and good net mates for each other.
Puck drop is at 5 p.m. tonight. Addison Barger has been placed on the 10-day injured list today with a right elbow inflammation ahead of their game against the Tampa Bay Rays. The move was retroactive to Sunday, 1 day after Barger returned from a sprained left ankle that sidelined him for 29 games. Manager John Schneider in a press conference today says Barger has nothing structurally wrong in his elbow. Issue is in the joint, and he's getting a cortisone shot. That will help him down 3-4 days, and hopefully it's a short stint on the injured list. The Toronto Tempo had their inaugural game on Saturday. Point guard Brittany Sykes commented today on the home atmosphere in the opener and how that energy can be a cheat code for the team.
It's a cheat code for us. We've played against many teams who have, average 10,000, 12,000, 15,000 fans, right? And then we average, 85 or something like that in the arena? That's going to be hard to play against when those fans are cheering, and it gives us an energy. Say if we feel a little flat, they're always in the game with us. No matter the score, we get, a turnover. Well, we turn the team over, and they're cheering like we scored. So that helps a lot to, give us energy.
The Tempo will play again on Wednesday, May 13th at 4 p.m. against the Seattle Storm. With the FIFA World Cup starting in Vancouver in less than 40 days, our reporter Ali Falla has more on how prepared the VPD for providing the city's security during this competition.
The competition's so big that the VPD has been planning for years to manage public safety in its duration. According to Constable Darren Wong, the spokesperson of this department, the planning has gone quite well so far. He also adds the VPD is not going to be alone.
We're bringing in some additional supports from partner agencies, including the RCMP, Vancouver Transit Police, Delta Police, and also our friends from Alberta, from Calgary Police Service and Edmonton Police Service.
The city is going to witness more police forces than usual. However, Wong doesn't want this to prevent the fans from feeling welcomed, emphasizing this is only for making sure they will have an enjoyable experience. Ali Falla, BCIT News.
The NHL has announced today that the Stanley Cup is back for its third consecutive year. This 90-minute special will feature a lineup of adoptable pups that will face off in a friendly competition, showcasing their puppy puck handling skills in a miniature rink. The competition will also feature special appearances by SNL stars Kenan Thompson and NHL players such as Devin Cooley, Seth Jarvis, and the defenseman Will Smith Hockey. The show will premiere on June 8th. Due to FIFA World Cup in Vancouver, the Whitecaps do not have access to their home base, BC Place, for the home Canadian Championship match against Calgary in July. They are setting up home base at their previous venue, Swangard Stadium in Burnaby. That's all the sports headlines from me. This has been Dena Tingala with BCIT's The Crow.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680.
Everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikakane.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Theresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretanero.
And I'm Radhika Sikakane.